Firstly, thank you everyone for coming to this little press conference here in York. Before we kick things off, I would just like to take a moment to thank our chairman Jason McGill for this wonderful opportunity. Now, as you will all know, York City is a fantastic club in a beautiful part of the country. You will have seen that on your way in. Now, you will also know Yorkshire itself is God's own country, and as such we will be looking to live up to that by one day going to the dizzying heights of the Premier League. And I have a very capable squad and staff at my disposal, allowing us to do that. But along the way, we will of course be acquiring new people. I also have a rather generous contract, currently on £1,100 per week. That is allowing me to bed in rather comfortably here in York. And speaking of which, I do need to go find a house rather soon. Also, speaking of locals, local rivals Scarborough Athletic, you will know I am a bit of a fan. Not going to take questions on that because, like I said, I do need to go find a home pretty much straight after this press conference. So, I would just like to thank you all for coming here today. I hope you all enjoy our journey here at York, and I hope you all have a wonderful day ahead of you. Okay, so before we jump into pre-season and check out our squad, I thought we'd have a little look at the housing market here in York and see where we ended up. Now, as you can see from the top of the screen, we have a budget of £3,500 per calendar month. That works out at £850 per week, which is pretty reasonable considering our 1,100 wage each week. In terms of bedrooms, I didn't narrow it down by bedroom because I wanted to leave that option open. In terms of the property types, well, we've made sure it is furnished, and in terms of the filters, we've removed house share, retirement homes and student accommodation, as well as making sure these properties are on a long-term lease. Now, in terms of long-term lease, there's 24 different properties. As you can see, there is some older properties which have nice cookers and old brickwork on the external, and then we have some more modern. So these ones, which look a little more like a travel lodge, they're nice, but they're not the sort of place I want to settle down and call home. We have some more reasonable properties here, but which property did we end up in out of all of these? Well, we ended up in a 2-bedroom apartment, and that 2-bedroom apartment is this one, the one on Green Lane, York, YO36RG. It's not in the ideal postcode. The ideal postcode for the stadium would have been YO32, but this is actually reasonably close. I'll show you on Google Maps in just a second how close it is, but it is in pretty much touching distance of the stadium. At £1,300 per calendar month, £300 per week. It's nice and cheap. It's a 2-bedroom property with 2 bathrooms. This apartment is rather nice. It's got modern interior, as you can see, open planned kitchen, living room, which is perfectly fine for us. Externally, it is nice and easy kept. It's pretty simple on the outside. In terms of the kitchen, a nice modern kitchen, nice and clean. Virtual tour we can't do. There's another look at our living room. In terms of the bedroom, as you can see, we can walk straight out of our bedroom door into the garden if we wish. Probably not going to be doing that too much considering we'll have training to deal with. In terms of the bathroom, it's nice and tiled. Lovely little bathroom for us. There is another view. Little disappointed that the shower can't be closed on, but besides that, it's a nice little shower, and there's an outside seating area where of course we can conversate with our neighbours. So this is our apartment. There is the other bedroom. Does that go outside? No, it's a window. I guess you could climb out the window, but I wouldn't advise climbing out of the bedroom window. And yes, that is the rest of the apartment. There's nothing else to look at in the apartment other than the internet speed, because that, of course, is going to be something of interest to us, which if we scroll down just a little bit, we can find the internet speed. If I haven't lost it, there we go, broadband speed, 900 megabit connection, so not too bad. But where is it? Well, in terms of the ground, it is only a 12-minute drive, 15 if you go through the middle of town, so it's very commutable to the stadium. And with that, it is time to head on over to the stadium as we crack on with pre-season. Okay, so we've just arrived at the stadium and we've been hit with some awful news to start our time here. As you can see, most of the first team is on the last year of their contract. The main one being Clayton Donaldson, as you can see, star player, on pretty much twice as much as anyone else, but he has quite the track record in his 37 years of career. Those of you who don't know, well, Clayton Donaldson started off in 2000/2001 with Hull City. He was there for 4 solid seasons, played 2 games in League 2. He then went down to the Vanarama National League, where I also know him from Scarborough FC, now Scarborough Athletic. He then went on to Halifax, Harrogate, back to Hull, back then to Harrogate, before then coming here to York. Scored 17 goals in 42 games, 24 in 43. He then went on a free to Scotland, where he spent a couple of seasons with Hibernian before going for an undisclosed fee to Crewe Alexander. Spent 3 seasons there, went to Brentford for 3 seasons, then to Birmingham for 4, went to Sheffield United on an undisclosed fee, then to Bolton on a free transfer to Bradford for a couple of seasons, and now he is back in York. So he's going to be one who is missed if we cannot renew his contract. And a lot of these are going to be missed. A lot of top players. That's going to be a lot of holes to fill. But what is our expectation for this season? Well, at the end of the season, we are expected to reach the playoffs in the league. The FA Cup, we are supposed to reach the first round, and the FA Trophy the second. In terms of next year, we're expected to win promotion, which hopefully I will have done by then, and our contract comes to an end. So we don't really need to look past that, because first of all we need to get a second contract, but we are going to accept that vision, and with doing so it is time for us to play a pre-season game. Okay everyone, our first pre-season game is almost upon us as we welcome Brigtown to town as we verse them in this first game. And as you can see, our starting left back in fact is out injured. He's out for a long time. He's out 6 to 7 months, I believe. Yes, 6 to 7 months with a damaged Achilles tendon. That is going to be a big miss for us. We're not going to have Barrow at left back for the majority of the season. Also out injured are a couple of other players. We've got Gilchrist down here. He is out injured. He's out for 2 to 3 months with groin strain. And then we have Knowles. Knowles is out for 6 days to 2 weeks with a pulled ankle ligament. But what does that mean for our team here today? Well, if I just head on over to manage and drop it down to our pre-season squad, you'll see over on the left hand side I have moved Newton, which means our backline today is going to be Newton, Brown, Fielding and Duckworth. They are of course in front of Jameson. In central midfield we've got Wright and Woods, Dyson on the right, Heaney on the left, Donaldson in between and Beck up front. These are of course subject to change if we bring in some new players, which is going to be hard considering we are actually over wage budget and have no transfer funds to work with. And yes, that is our team at the moment. We also have 3 other players out on loan. I believe Potts and Whitfield are out on loan to Ossett Town. And then we have Whitley, who's actually out on loan to Scarborough Athletic. So let's crack on with things. Let's submit our team. As you can see, I'm going for a 4-2-3-1, which I love to do. That's, again, subject to change, but it's a nice little starting formation. It's not the ideal one for this squad according to the game, but I think it's a strong one we can work with going forward. Now, they do have a couple of players I recognise. I of course recognise Billy Logan, and I also recognise Will Annan. I've seen Bridlington Town play quite a bit, especially when Scarborough was playing at their ground. I did go and watch quite a few Bridtown games as well, but we are going to start this one with we're favourites for a reason. Go out there and make sure they're left with no doubt why we are the favourites for this one. So let's skip the walkouts and let's crack on with some action. Of course, it is nice and drizzly here up in the northeast today. Clayton Donaldson, though, with possession, will play it all the way back to Brown. Now, can we get anything going from central midfield? Right, up to Beck, over to Heaney. Now, Beck was a 50-50 decision. Our striking options are pretty darn good. Beck could have missed out to Willoughby. Willoughby could have been the one starting here today, but Beck, on terms of his statistics, is marginally better as a deep line playmaker, so we're giving him the opportunity first of all. If he messes up, well, Kurt Willoughby will be in the wings to capitalise. But right now we've got Hottie on the right-hand side. He plays it over to Earl. Earl from range, lovely save by Jameson. As you can see, not quite the crowd here today, but I don't blame them. It's poor weather, we're playing Brid. It's not going to be the hardest of games. We should win this one rather comfortably. It's definitely going to be easier than what the original one was. The original one, I believe, was Kilmarnock. And yes, that would not have been a fun game to kick things off with. I want to get our team's morale up. I gave us some easier games. I did keep ones against Nicolova, and I believe Corby was another one that was pre-planned. But we also now have one against Whitby, and unfortunately, I tried to get Scarborough Athletic just before the start of the season. They didn't want to play us, so instead we are playing Tadcaster the game before the season starts as well. So I will, of course, go over all of those in between. Well, at the start of the next episode, I'll cover those so you know how we got on in the rest of pre-season, because, of course, we will kick off the start of the season in the next one. But right now, Bullis has just gone and bulldozed over Beck. We also do have a bit of a knock to right. I should probably take him off. Don't want to take any more injuries going into the season. Newton, though, back post. Beck, it is saved. He's collected the ball back, though. He's played it back to Fielding. Fielding from range. Oh, he's forced to save. Beck will get it again. Fielding, have another go. Or not. He's offside. Beck, just stay onside, my friend. We had a great opportunity. We was just smashing it against them. Also, Ankaraguku randomly is having a friendly here today. Newton, back post, lovely attempt by Beck, unfortunately does not get the header to go. I believe Beck does have pretty good heading skills with about a 16 rating, I want to say, on his heading stat, which is nice, especially at this division. But we are going to try and build from back here as Wright collects the ball. I think Wright, if he doesn't get completely injured, will take off at half-time, let him rest up. Woods, though, plays it up to Dyson. Dyson plays it over to Duckworth. Duckworth on this right-hand side inside to Woods. Woods now plays it back to Fielding. Fielding over to Brown. Brown up to Wright. Wright in the centre circle gets it over to Heaney on this left-hand side. Can Heaney get past his man, though? That is the question. He's got him tracking back. He whips one in. Beck, free header, surely. No, Bullis will nod it away. Duckworth will collect this one, though. Over to Woods. Now Dyson. Doesn't use the overlap. He could have used Duckworth there on the overlap, but instead goes alone and just gives them the ball back. This is a little bit disappointing. Half an hour in, we are yet to score. Heaney, though, he's got an overlap on this left-hand side if he can find it. Instead, he goes inside. Woods coming at the defence, plays it over to Duckworth. Duckworth's got plenty of space on this right-hand side. Can he use it? Whips it in, back post. Heaney. Hitchcock again making another save for Bridlington here today. Now, let's demand a little bit more, lads. I would like you to play a little bit better. In fact, we are going attacking. Forget this positivity. We are going full-on attack. We're going to demand it from the lads. We should be doing better. Heaney's not liking the fact that I'm demanding more, nor is Jameson, but everyone else is loving it. Now, right over to Woods. Lovely ball over to Duckworth on this right-hand side. He holds up possession nicely. Whips one into the back post. Heaney, free header. Oh, Hitchcock again will just jump up and collect it. We've been rather wasteful in front of goal here today, but Woods with yet another opportunity here on the 36th minute. Plays it over to Dyson. Dyson, will he pull it back? Perhaps he does for Woods. He's crossed his block, but it falls to Duckworth. Duckworth back up to Woods. Pull it back for Duckworth. Now, can Duckworth do anything here on the right-hand side? Back inside to Woods. Woods now over to Donaldson. Dyson's got space. Oh, and Hitchcock again makes yet another save. We are not forcing him to make difficult saves. He's just catching them. Pretty simple. He's just catching them. They're not coming at him hard. That one was a little harder. He did have to turn it round the post, but again, a wasteful opportunity as Newton's corner goes flying over the head of Beck, and it is a throwing. So, got Bridlington Town here trying to build from the back on the 37th minute. It is with Lewis. Lewis plays it up to Dixon. Now back to Hottie. Hottie will hold up possession, plays it across to Lewis. Lewis is not even attempting to move up the pitch. This is a rather weird attempt of building play. Dixon back to Lewis. Again, he's just standing still near the byline. I'm not quite sure what their strategy is. Are they trying to go for a 0-0 draw in a friendly game? This doesn't make any sense. Brid. They have given us the ball away though, and Woods will play it up to Dyson. Dyson coming at them, plays it short to Donaldson. He gets over to Heaney on this left-hand side. Now, can he pull it back? Or perhaps even whipping across. He pulls it back for Newton. Newton inside to right. Right back to Newton. Newton's got space. Whips one across. Beck, free header. Beck, stop it, please. Just put one in the corner. At least make him dive for these saves. Woods, though, nods it back down for Duckworth. Duckworth now on this right-hand side. Plays it up to Donaldson. Dyson over to Donaldson once more. It's now with Beck on the halfway line. Woods holds up the ball. Plays it back to Fielding. Fielding plays one through to Beck. Lovely ball up to Donaldson. Donaldson doesn't have space quite yet, but he gets it over to Dyson. Dyson's making room, though, on this right-hand side. Now, will he whip one in or perhaps pull it back? He whips one in. Beck drops back for the header and this time almost puts it in the corner. He forced a bit of a harder save from Hitchcock, but still it was too soft. Hitchcock got over to it. Brown nods it down for Woods now. Over to Fielding. Right, gets it back to Brown. Brown now over to Newton on this left-hand side. Can he do anything? The captain, of course, gets it up to Heaney. Now to Right. Right went through ball to Donaldson. Plays it back to Heaney. Heaney continues his run down this left-hand side. He plays it into Newton. Newton's made a nice run. Oh, nice 1-2 with Heaney. He whips one in. Beck. Oh, Beck cannot keep it down. Hits the crossbar. And it looks like we are going to end half-time at 0-0. We are dominant on the shots though, as you can see, 16-4, 13 of those 16 on target as well. We've forced a lot of saves out of Hitchcock here today. Unfortunately though, they weren't difficult saves thus far. Donaldson though gets possession, plays it back over to Duckworth, now to Woods. Woods holds up the ball, plays it over to Duckworth. Duckworth inside to Donaldson. Donaldson, will he pull it back? He does. Fielding now, can he do anything? Plays it back up to Donaldson. In fact, it's now with Beck. Beck's got an overlapping Heaney. Heaney tries to play one across to Dyson. Dyson will get on to the end of this, and he plays it back inside to Woods. Now Woods, pull it back, pull it back. Dyson's there, please. Yes, he's pulled it back for Dyson. Oh, Dyson, that was a wasted opportunity. You had space and an opportunity to get a goal. Instead, though, it's another save from Hitchcock. Oh, Newton, come on. Big corner, back post. Beck cannot keep his header down. And again, we rue another missed opportunity as we head into half-time. 0-0, 14 out of 20 on target. They've had 3 out of 4 to be fair to them, but we have been dominant. 91% passing, that is lovely to see. What isn't though, is the fact we haven't got a goal yet. I'm looking for standard to be set in these friendlies and you're not meeting them so far. The second half must be better. Exactly. Okay, Wright is not liking that. Well, Wright, you do have a bit of a knock, so I have the perfect excuse to take you off. So, instead of Wright, I think we're probably going to go with Hopper. Hopper might be the shout. I don't think Hopper, though, is particularly good at being a ball-winning midfielder, is he? Hopper. In fact, no. McLaughlin can come on as ball-winning midfielder. He doesn't mind doing it, so we'll play him there. In terms of other players, I think, as tempting as it is to make Rugrats references and go on about Tommy Pickles, we won't put Tommy Pickles on quite yet. If we start taking a nice comfortable 2-0 lead, I think I'll give Tommy Pickles a bit of a run out. We do need to give the youngsters an opportunity, but right now we'd like to get the victory. It's with Dixon. Dixon plays it over to Earl. Earl on this left-hand side gets past his man, but can we dispossess him? He's getting close down. Lovely tackle by Ducksworth. Great job tracking back. Originally letting him by was a bit of a mistake, but thankfully you did get back and make that tackle. But we have a corner. And it's McLaughlin to take this. McLaughlin whips it in. Fielding. Has he been pushed by Earl? I believe so. Clayton Donaldson will step up to take this. The legend himself, the 37-year-old. Can he net us a goal? Come on, Clayton. Right in front of the empty stand. You can do it. Come on. Bottom right corner. Clayton Donaldson finally gets us off the mark after what has been a rather dismal chance in front of goal. A lot of wasted opportunities in this game. Thankfully we are off the mark though. Also, Ankara Guku currently losing 3-1 to Galatasaray. Who's interested in that fixture? Ducksworth will throw it in towards though. Dyson now plays it up to Beck. Beck holding up possession nicely, drops it back for Dyson. Dyson on this right hand side, pulling it back for Ducksworth. In fact, Woods, lovely through ball, gets it up to Dyson. He plays it short to Donaldson, who's played another lovely through ball to Dyson. Now, can Dyson do anything with this space? Dyson pulls it back. Woods, maybe whip across in, pull it back. Oh yes, he has. He's whipped one in. What a ball in front of goal. Heaney just having to tap it in. Flies past Hitchcock. Hitchcock didn't know what was coming. It goes flying past him. It flies past 2 defenders, I believe. Maybe even 3. Yep, the midfielder closing him down. 2 defenders in the centre and even 1 behind him. And he just slides it into the bottom of the net. Also, I do apologise for any background noise. That is rather loud for me, so I would assume it's pretty loud for you as well. Now, in terms of substitutes, let's bring some people on, give them an opportunity to shine. So, Ducksworth, you've had a great game, but Tommy Pickles is going to have a chance. King, you are also going to have a chance. Now, Fielding or Brown, that is the question. I think we'll give him a chance for Fielding today. So we'll have Brown and King. And do we want to bring anyone else on? I guess Willoughby. I guess we'll give Willoughby a chance. Beck hasn't really been finishing in front of goal, so we'll give Willoughby the opportunity to show what he can do. And hopefully he shines just as much as Holly does. But Heaney and Donaldson thus far have goals for us. Bradford Park Avenue, by the way, 3-1 up against Buckley at Buckley. Kirsten Ashton 2-0 up against Flint Town. We have Gloucester, who are 3-0 up against Undies, otherwise known as Underpants. No, but it's a nice ball by Newton. Unfortunately, the header cannot be kept down. And we are into the final 10 minutes of today's game, where we're doing okay. I wouldn't say this has been the greatest of starts to pre-season, but it's not been the worst either. Newton on this left-hand side plays it short to McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets it over to Woods. Woods holds up possession nicely up to Donaldson. Willoughby back to Donaldson. Free shot. Oh, Hitchcock turns it around the post, and we have 5 minutes remaining in today's game. Now, can we do anything from the corner? It will be McLaughlin to take this one. Paddy will knock it into the back post. Agnew, though, nods it away. Can Woods get onto it? Who knows? We didn't get to see it. Maybe Woods got to it, maybe he didn't. Who knows? But Lamplugh will throw it in to Bullis. Bullis on this left-hand side pulls it back to Lamplugh. It's kept in. Now up to Parker. Parker back to Barkworth. Barkworth starting from the back. They have 2 minutes to try and score 2 goals. Jenkins, they are just wasting time. I don't know what Bridtown is doing here today. Dixon now getting it over to Willannan. Willannan coming down this right-hand side. We know how good he can be. He makes darting run, but instead decides to play it all the way back to the halfway line. Dixon now up to Norfolk. Norfolk back to Dixon once more. Dixon to Jenkins. Jenkins tries the ball over top. Agnew's ball is in fact intercepted by Brown and nodded down though. Donaldson over to Woods. Woods coming back at their defence, plays it over to Dyson. He's got an overlap. Tommy Pickles, come on Tommy Pickles, show us what you can do other than give me Rugrats references. Woods, lovely through ball to Dyson. Dyson shot to Willoughby. It's back to Dyson once more. He plays it over to Donaldson. His shot is blocked. Willoughby is not going to hunt that one down. He's just going to let it go out. And can we do anything with this possibly final corner of the game? It will be McLaughlin. He goes short with this one. Agnew now nodding it away. Heaney should collect this one and possibly play it all the way back up. He's in fact going to go himself. Plays it up to Pickles. Pickles back post. He has no one over there though. He gives it straight to Haslam, and that is probably going to be the final play of the game. He plays it short to Jenkins, and it is all over, folks. The ref has finally blown the whistle on this one. A 2-0 victory, 29 shots, 17 on target. We wasn't bad. We just need to start being more clinical in front of goal. Willoughby with a 6.6. Beck got a 7.6, but the best performer in this one was our captain, captain, Sean Newton with an 8.5. Now, let's head to the dressing room. Tell the lads that wasn't too bad for a pre-season game. It started off a little rough. We did force a lot of saves from Hitchcock, but none particularly hard for him to make. But we are, of course, returning for the start of the season in the next one, where we will be hosting Kidderminster Harriers. So I thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a lovely night, and goodbye.